There are two main ways to give a shooter a correction when they miss the target. The first technique is to give correction commands in terms of the number of clicks to adjust on the scope turrets to shift the actual point of impact without changing the shooter's point of aim. The second method is to give a holding command instructing the shooter to adjust their reticle relative to the target before taking the next shot. This is called a hold. You may also hear terms like holdover, referring to a hold for elevation compensation, or Kentucky windage, referring to a hold for windage compensation. This is a fast method, making it effective for shooting before wind conditions change, but it requires solid technique from the shooter. It also becomes harder to execute when the shot is too far from the horizontal or vertical axis, or too far from the target itself. In this part of the tutorial, we'll focus on the second technique, holding commands using the reticle. To give holding commands with the reticle, you first need to agree on a naming convention. The CentreMasse application follows one of the possible methods, which has the advantage of being particularly simple and clear for communication. It consists of naming the dots based on their axis, direction, and position. The vertical axis or y-axis will be divided into an up zone for dots above the x-axis and a down zone for those below. Likewise, the horizontal axis or x-axis will be divided into a negative zone for dots to the left of the y-axis and a positive zone for dots to the right. This allows you to clearly identify the dots. For example, first up dot, second up dot, and so on. First down dot, second down dot, and so forth. Similarly, we'll identify this dot as first negative dot, second negative dot, etc. First positive dot, second positive dot, and so on. This way, if the spotter sees the impact of a missed shot along one of the axes, they can quickly give a precise correction. The shooter will simply need to shift the indicated reticle position. For example, first positive dot onto the center of the target to make the hit. To fine-tune the correction, you can also indicate if the impact is between two dots. In this case, we use the term frame. For example, frame the first up dot, or frame the first and second up dot, if the point of impact is between the first and second top dots. This can be applied across all positions. Frame the first down dot, frame the first and second down dot, and so on. The same applies to the horizontal axis. Frame the first positive dot, frame the first and second positive dot, frame the first negative dot, etc. When a missed shot lands just on the edge of the target and requires only a minor correction, there are commands to speed up this adjustment. We follow a very logical and simple system, inspired by military doctrine, called the clock system. 1 o'clock, right edge, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, left edge, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It is also possible to combine the dot corrections with the clock system, as in this example. The impact is located at the first positive dot, to the right, but also slightly high around the top edge of the target. The correction command will be first positive dot, 6 o'clock, to bring the shot left, but also down. Let's take another example. The shot lands below the target, slightly to the left. The correction command will be first down dot, right edge to bring the shot up by 1 dot and to the right by half the target's width. Holding commands using the reticle may seem complex, but they are actually quite simple and logical. However, it is difficult to master them consistently in real-world training, as many other variables must be considered. The entire purpose of the CentreMasse application is to train you to make these commands automatic when spotting, like second nature, allowing you to deliver them without even thinking. The same goes for turret click corrections, which we will cover in the next chapter.